Hello everyone, how are you doing? My name is Jay Mundat. In this video, we are going to be sculpting an ear in Blender. I'll show you a simple way to achieve good results. And towards the end of the video, I'll show you examples I've created using the same method. I'll start by adding a cube with Shift A, Mesh, Cube. I'll subdivide with Ctrl 3. This will add a subdivision with 3 levels. S to scale, G to move to the side. Then I'm going to tab to edit mode, numpad 3 for side view, SY, and Ctrl R to add a loop cut in the middle. And this is going to be the thickness of the ear. And since this is a stylized ear, it's going to be quite thick. Now I'm going to tab back to object mode, numpad 1 for front view. Now when you scale in object mode and you want to sculpt that object, it's always good to apply the scale with Ctrl A, scale. I also apply the modifier by placing my cursor on the modifier and pressing Ctrl A. If you are enjoying this type of content, creating stylized characters in Blender, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also, if there's something you'd love to see, you can tell me on the comment section. I'll start by defining the shape of the ear. We are going to have a slanting side which will be attaching to the head, and the side that hang off the head will be a question mark, something like a slanting side to attach to the head, and the other side will be a question mark, like that. Now I'm going to be doing this in sculpt mode, so I'm going to tab to sculpt mode. I'm going to use a big grab brush so that I can grab both sides, the front and the back side, and I'll push and pull to create the slanting side which will attach to the head, and the other side will be more of a question mark, like that. Also for the height of the ear, the bottom side mostly aligns to the bottom of the nose, and for me the top side, I like having it align with the top eyelid. We don't have the eyelid or the nose, but we can assume they are there. Now you can see I already have that slanting and more of a question mark, which is good. And this shape can change depending on the type of ear you are creating. I'll be showing you more of that at the end. Now I'm going to tab back to object mode, and the next step will be placing the ear on the right position. And to help us do that, I'm going to be moving this origin point to this side, to this slanting side, so that I can rotate the ear from that point. I'm going to do that by pressing Ctrl full stop, and I think I need to bring up the screencast. I forgot to turn it on. Now I'm going to repeat that. In order to move this origin point, I'm going to press Ctrl full stop, and I'll G and move it. And I am doing this when I'm in front view, and I'm also doing this in object mode. Now the other way to move the origin point, you can go to this tool tab, and this is, you enable this origin, and that's how you are going to move the origin. And the shortcut is Control full stop. Now with the origin at that point, you can see it's going to be easier to rotate the ear from this point with R. Now I'm going to numpad 1 for front view, GX to move it to the head, then I'll numpad 7 for top view, RZ to rotate on the Z axis, and I'm going to rotate to around that point. And from here onward, I'm going to keep on rotating and moving it along the X axis to have it in position. From the side view, GY to move it backward, and I want the ear to be positioned along the jaw. Like if I was to extend the jawline, it's going to be, the ear is going to be along that line. I can continue positioning it in sculpt mode using the grab brush. And that is a good position. The next thing, I'm going to be pushing the area that attaches to the head outward. I'm going to tab back to object mode. Actually, I'm going to be in sculpt mode, and I'm going to press M for the mask brush. And right now I need more polygons. Alt M to clear the mask. I need more polygons, and to add more polygons I'm going to press R and move my cursor so that I can have a lot of subdivisions. R, then Control R, and you can see the number of polygons I have here, and I think this is a lot for beginning, so I'm going to press Ctrl Z. We were at 600 polygons. Now I press R again and move it backward, Ctrl R, and I think 2700 is a good number. I'm going to paint at the back of the ear, and if you paint at the back of the ear and your mask is showing in the front, just go to the brush settings and enable front faces only. I'm going to paint something like that. Then I'm going to invert the mask with Ctrl I. I take the grab brush and make the size big. Then I'm going to pull this inward into the ear like that. Then I press Alt M to clear the mask, and because these faces have been stretched, I'm going to press R and I add a little bit of resolution, then Ctrl R to apply, and now we are at 7000 polygons. Then I press Shift to enable the smooth brush, and I'm going to smooth. Then I get my draw sharp brush, and I'm going to make this attachment point more clear. And that is good for now. Remember, this is a stylized ear. Now the remaining part, which is actually the last part, is the details in the front of the ear. If you have made it this far in this video, I take this opportunity to thank you. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe and leave a like. It is going to help these videos a lot. Now, to add details on the front part of the ear, I'm going to be using the draw sharp, and I'm going to make an S-like shape. Like that. I'll grab my mask brush, and I'm going to create a mask. With a shape of the inside of the ear, something like that. I invert the mask with Ctrl I. Then with the grab brush, I'm going to make the size big. Holding Ctrl, I'm going to push it in like that. I will clear the mask with Alt M. I will also add more resolution with R, then Ctrl R, and now I'm at 20,000 polygons. And the way I have this number of polygons is in Show Overlays, then turn on Statistics. Holding down Shift, I'm going to activate the smooth brush, and I'm going to smooth. Then with the draw sharp, I will make this more prominent. Now I'm going to take the draw brush, and I'm going to create the inside part of the ear. Holding Shift to smooth. Then with the clay strips, I'm going to add more on this side. And smoothing, holding down Shift. Then with the draw sharp, I'll continue pushing this area. Holding Ctrl, I'm going to invert the draw sharp to push this area outside, like that. And with this, our stylized ear have come to an end, and from here onward it's pushing and pulling and adding more details as you like. And if you have a reference, then you can go ahead and use the reference. But basically this is how I create a simple stylized ear. Now I'm going to be showing you a number of ears I've created using the same method. This example is close to the one we have created. You can see we have the slanting side which attaches to the head, and the question mark, and also for the inside of the ear you can see this S shape, and there is this part of the inside of the ear, and I did go ahead to add it to look more like a Y, which is very common when it comes to creating an ear. And then when you view it from this side, you can see this part is protruding more to the outside of the ear. And this is one way you can add a variety of different type of ears. The next one is going to be an elf type of ear, and the only difference with this one is that I still have the slanting side, but the S shape side is more prolonged to fit the elf type of an ear, but you can still see the question mark shape is still shining through. And the last one is still the same type of ear, but the difference here is that I have prolonged the lobe of the ear in order to fit this ring, but everything else remains the same as I have showed you. So thank you for watching these videos. I highly appreciate. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to see you in the next one.